WRAZ Radio 102.7 Adrian, Missouri.
All right, we're live. We're on the air. QRAZ Radio on Facebook, YouTube, and 102.7 FM if you're local. And we have a special guest tonight. Melinda Elmer is here. Hi, Melinda.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah. You may not be thanking me by the time we're done.
We'll start.
I've been optimistic about our government and our economy, and boy, have I been wrong.
You Good.
And we're having issues again with our connection. Faces drop out. And it's all right. First up, somebody's watching. Somebody say something. Tell us, are our mics working? Because I'm working. I've got meters that say they're working. My headphones say they're working, but that's it. Anything. Say hello to Melinda. I'm going to tell Melinda there's about a 7 to 10 second delay.
Okay.
Between, see, Peggy Burr's here.
Very good.
So.
She's a good friend.
She's a good gal.
Yeah, she is.
I'm not going to tell her that, though.
Okay.
She gets a big head. And
well, you know.
Okay. Apparently, we're working.
Okay.
Sort of. Melinda.
Yes.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. We were talking before, and my memory is a good solid sieve. So we know she's involved with the Lions.
With the Lions? Well, I'm not a member, but I cater one of their meals once a month.
Okay.
So that's how I'm involved with them.
And Lily's house.
Lily's house, and just before Christmas, I started leading cooking classes at Lily's house.
I saw some pictures you posted.
Yeah, so I was so pleased that they asked me to come on board.
Oh,
you know,
now you're in
help.
trouble. Mark's here.
Uh-oh.
I can't believe she didn't bring you, Mark.
Oh. If I would have asked, he might have been here.
Yeah. Now, are you tangled up with the optimists, or
no.
you managed to avoid that?
Yeah, not the optimist. But
And I know
Very
she's
group.
involved with the Methodist Church.
Methodist Church, yes.
The Scouts.
Scouts, for the Cub Scouts, those are the little guys. Well, you know, I still say guys because now they invite girls in. So I have to remember to say Scouts, but I say boys and guys a lot.
Okay.
And,
So just say guys. And
so the guys, so it's kindergarten through 5th grade. That's the Cub Scout age. And I'm the Cub Master and have a really great group of leaders and committee that, you know, do a lot of hard work for us. And then for the Boy Scouts, that's about later part of 5th grade, 6th grade up to high school. I'm the treasurer for the Boy Scouts. So
you got all the money.
Well, I just write the checks sometimes.
Yes. Here, sign this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been down that road.
Yes. Yeah.
I had a friend run for Congress.
Hmm.
He wasn't going to win. We knew he wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
I think he hated me.
Oh, yeah.
He made me his treasurer.
Oh.
So, like, approve this.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
What am I proving here?
Hmm. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. That's true.
You also have the catering business.
I do. I do some catering other than the Lions Club. I do some, I've done class reunions. In March, I have the retired teachers, their association, they meet. I'm not sure if they meet on a monthly basis. I don't know, but I am doing their luncheon in March. And then I have kind of a little home bakery. So I like to, sometimes.
See, I actually thought you were going to bring something.
Oh, you know what? I thought about it a little bit too late in the day.
I see how you are.
So, but yeah, I kind of have like a usual clientele list, people who just call on a regular basis.
Now, I know you do pies,
I do pies, any kind of pie.
cakes.
I decorate cakes. Yeah. Breads, cookies, anything bakery,
Yeah.
any bakery item.
I've got a weakness for two pies. Three. Cherry, apple,
Mhm.
and gooseberry.
Oh, yes. I love gooseberry pie.
And we were in Arizona. Wendover? Can't think. Rex Allen's hometown.
Hmm.
Anyway, there's a place called Annie's Apples,
Okay.
and they make the best deep dish apple pie I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
That thing must have been.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
And it was amazing. And when we came back this last time, I really wanted to stop. I was on the motorcycle and it decided to rain. So it's like, I'm not going to get another one of those pies. But
Yeah. Well, I've never had anybody order a gooseberry pie, but I just think they're the best.
I was trying to think of her name. Used to be minister over at Drexel at the Methodist Church, Marilyn something. I can't think of her last name. And I still had to shop over at Drexel at that time.
Hmm.
I knew when she wanted something, she'd show up with a gooseberry pie or some baklava.
Oh, yeah.
Or her baklava was good.
Yeah.
Wilcox.
Okay. Yeah.
Linda's keeping an eye on me.
Okay, good.
But it was just Dolores Enos says hi.
Oh.
Yeah. Just
All that long courting period, I think.
yeah, I saw the wedding thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but so what cooking Lily's house?
Lily's house, yes. And I go in twice a month, and we might meet about up to 2 hours sometimes, depends what we're doing. And they got to have their Christmas dinner there, and they wanted to do cream pies, and they wanted to do them from scratch.
No blow.
Everything was scratch. And one of the moms she was going to have a birthday party for one of her little boys. So she did a scratch cake, scratch icing, and decorated it, and got to have a birthday party with her little boy. And so that was the picture I put that up. We did chicken and noodles.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over mashed potatoes.
That's what we did. That's what we did. Yeah. So, I really want them to learn to, make it themselves. And we're going to be making, our own pantry mixes. So we don't go to the store and buy a mix if you need something, look in the pantry. You've already had it made up. So we're going to make a big batch of chili seasoning here in a couple weeks. And they have an Instapot. They have a lot of gadget things in their kitchen. So we're right now working with the Instapot. So they want to make a meal out of that.
Linda loves her Instapot.
Yeah.
So
I used mine tonight. Yeah. Threw stuff in it, and 9 minutes later, I had dinner ready.
She also loves her air fryer.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the girls use theirs a lot at Lily's house.
Yeah.
So, one thing I really am trying to teach them is if they have something left over or something to do with it, don't throw it away. Find a way to use it, because I think it's so important to learn how to use the food you have on hand to feed your family. And, we just don't know. You might not be able to find things at the store sometimes. And
there's a lot of people that have never been hungry.
Yeah.
Never had to worry about how they were going to
Sure.
feed their kids and stuff, and they just leftovers go in the trash.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, that stuff will be better tomorrow than it was today.
Yeah. Well, one of my first meetings with the girls, they said that they had been given some food, and in some of the food that they were given, I might have been around Thanksgiving, I'm not sure, but anyway, they ended up with some turkey necks, and they didn't know what on earth to do with it. They thought they were about the most disgusting thing they've seen. I think they even threw them away. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I can picture this pot of soup. I'm like, we're not throwing anything away.
Turkey what?
Necks.
Necks.
Yeah. So I understand if they've never, they didn't know what to do with it. But to me, we could have cooked that up, had a nice stock out of it. Yeah. Put some noodles or rice in it, some vegetables.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Anything to feed their family. I just hate to throw food away. And I like to experiment, and kind of do the second round of about anything.
It was probably 50 years ago. I was Belton's junior chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And to make money, we did turkey fries.
Mm-hmm.
And people look at you funny.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to explain what a turkey fry is.
Yeah.
And we had a company we ordered from, and they sent them to us frozen. We had to thaw them out and everything. Mm-hmm. And they sent a case. They said, we ran out of turkey fries. Here's a case of chicken fries. Well, none of us had ever cooked chicken fries. We didn't, and of course, size difference and everything. And so we kind of set them off to the side because we got busy. We had 3 of the big fryers were just put one down, pull one up, put one down, pull one up. And it finally slowed down. And I was working the kitchen and a couple of other guys, and they said, we're starting to get low on turkey fries. And somebody said, maybe we should try a batch of those chicken fries to see if we want to just say when the turkey fries are gone, say, okay, that's it. Mm-hmm. Or if we want to. So we dropped a basket of chicken fries, dumped them out on the drain, sprinkled a little salt on them, and we said, maybe we'll eat all these ourselves. They were that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But by the time the night was over, somebody come up, we'd just put a batch of chicken fries up on the counter. Mm-hmm. It was set up kind of like the kitchen in Optimist, where they've got that counter between the kitchen and put some up there and said, try these. They're different. We sold out of everything. Mm-hmm. That was a great night for us. We made some money.
So. Yeah.
But
no, you need to know how to use what food you have.
Yeah.
And every so often on Facebook, like if I have something that I could throw away that people might think is past being usable, I'll try to use it. I'm not talking about something that's spoiled. I don't mean that.
Yeah.
But I usually start out, how the grandmas used to say, use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. So that's how I kind of start my little spiel. But the last time I had some pears that had gotten just a little bit too soft to eat. They would have been so mushy. But instead of throwing them out, we, may put them into a spice cake, and they were just delicious. So things like that. If there's something you can do, because, there again,
a good fresh pear is hard to beat.
Yeah, that's true.
But, and people throw away stuff that we ate the beef heart, we ate the liver, we ate, the tongue.
Yeah.
Not a huge tongue fan,
Yeah.
but my grandmother would take the tongue and cook it up and then grind it
Mm-hmm.
and make like a ham salad, only
Yeah.
use beef tongue.
Yeah.
She'd also make cheap ham sandwiches usable. So tongue is, it looks awful laying on the plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But oxtail
Mhm.
and feet,
Mhm.
that's a lot of work for nothing.
Yeah.
There's more meat. They don't up like they did when I was,
Oh, really?
you know, you go to the store and buy a cut up chicken.
Mhm.
There's no ribs.
Yeah.
You know, the neck
Yeah.
are there. Linda says we're freezing up, and I'm aware of it, Linda. I can actually see it from this end tonight. It's once again somewhere between there.
Mhm.
I don't know what here.
Yeah.
I fix it,
Yeah.
but it's messing with us. How's the sound? Is the sound okay? Other than we're breaking up. Like I said, we've got a delay. But yeah, and one grandfather, I always thought the ribs had the best meat on it. There's not much, but it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my granddad, Bartles, always wanted the back.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I want the piece that went over the fence last. Because that always had the tail on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know what they're doing with that. I hope they're using it to make stock or something.
Yeah.
Because you don't get it.
No.
So,
So who knows what they're doing?
oh, nice. She says, Melinda sounds great.
Oh.
Thanks a lot.
Very good.
Okay. What else can we touch on here?
Well, I would like to talk about a personal blog that I have on Facebook, and it's titled Speaking of Hope. And I created it towards the end of 2020. In February, our youngest son passed away in an accident. And I thought, if there's a way to share hope, after a loss, something that people can just, read and maybe, hopefully gain something from it, some strength from it. And actually, when I titled it, I kind of wanted it to be like a conversation. And if someone was to say, speaking of hope, ... but it wouldn't let me do the ... So it's just speaking of hope. And there's several speaking of hope, I think, on Facebook. The mine has, the little icon is like cracked asphalt with a little flower coming out of it. So that's mine. So, but I think, what, in this, just for me speaking, what I've learned over the last few years is that grief and joy coexist, and they surely do.
Yeah,
And
they change places
they
regularly.
do, but that's okay. It's
Grief never goes away.
it changes.
It changes.
Yeah.
And it visits less frequently.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes it just breaks down the back door and comes in.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it will just storm in. Yeah.
And you don't know why. What?
That's true too. Sometimes, it might be a smell or a song, or, you might just, catch a glimpse. I know for a while, Carson loves SpaghettiOs with meatballs. And, you'd be walking down the store aisle and you see a can and you'd have to kind of keep it together.
Yeah.
It's like you can't break down here in the middle of the store. Things like,
It'll blindside you sometimes.
it can. Yeah.
And
Very
and
unpredictable.
sometimes you don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody that you didn't even realize you heard
Mm-hmm.
said something that triggers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes
That's
the
true.
subconscious
Yeah.
plays dirty.
That's true. So, but I think also you come today where you might have be having a good day and having a good time, and you realize, no, that's okay, that you're having a good day and you're feeling happy.
Why is Mark cold?
What?
Why is Mark cold?
I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I thought maybe there was something there that I didn't.
Well, I don't know. I'm not catching that either. I don't know.
Did you see? I can put the comments on the screen.
Cold out of, oh, okay. He said cold out of the can. Yeah, Carson would just pop the can open and eat it cold out of the can.
Okay.
So he's,
You know, I can't knock that because I used to like Chef Boyardee's spaghetti and meatballs, and I wasn't above eating it cold.
yeah. Oh, I
It
loved
was
it.
better warmed up.
Yeah. So, but so anyway, just just encourage people, in through their grief.
And you made a comment online the other day, or yes, was it the other day or today? Brain, I'm telling you, this old age thing sucks. But you're talking about the things that people can give, and I said that sometimes the best thing you can give somebody is just to sit with them.
Yeah.
Let them talk.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell them they're wrong. Don't tell them they're right.
Yeah.
Just listen.
I think sometimes we think we have to have the right words. We have to be able to say the right thing, especially if you're sitting with someone who's grieving or having a hard time, and you don't necessarily have to say anything.
And you can't come up with the right words for somebody that's grieving.
No.
And you risk saying something innocent.
Yeah.
And upsetting them.
Yeah.
And it's just, it is, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
If you need to talk, you want to yell and scream,
Yeah. Yeah.
You want me to take you for a drive out in the country and let you throw rocks at things?
Sure. Whatever it takes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody deals in a different way.
And the way you're grieving today might be different tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I should have memorized it, but I don't memorize anything anymore. But it talks about people, and somebody when let it.
Yeah.
You never know who's getting on, and you never know when they're getting off.
Yeah.
It just, you just ride.
Yeah. True.
Ride.
Yeah.
Now, would you like to take a phone call today?
We'll just see.
Let me get the phone number and I'll put it on the screen. Five two 783. That's this phone right here.
All right.
That phone only gets answered when I'm on the air.
Oh, really?
The rest of the time, nobody cares. Especially me.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you want to call, talk to Melinda, give us a call, 520-373-0783. If you don't want to talk to us, call anyway. So, and while we're sitting here doing that, I think everybody that's watching right now is on Facebook. Hit the like button.
Mm-hmm.
Like the page, like the video. If you're on YouTube, like and follow. It helps the channel. It gets us out there more.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody called you yet.
Wow.
You'd be surprised how few times this phone rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's scared.
Yeah.
You're going to put me on the air. I'm going to sound like a fool. Obviously, that doesn't bother me. I just do this. We got a minute. I'm going to plug.
Yeah, do that.
Look at this. Can you see it? Linda's making these hats. She made this one too, but you can't have this one. It's mine. So, but she could make you one with that on it. With that on there. She's going to sell these for $10 a piece. You can get a hold of me by instant messenger, email to qrazradio@gmail.com. And Linda will sell you a cake or a pie. Or just about Mark. She'll sell you Mark if the price is right. Maybe someday she'd probably just pay you to take him.
All right. Right now, I'll keep him around for a while.
Keep him a little more.
Yeah.
So, nobody calls. This is not, it takes all the fun out of it. We've got 6 people watching right now,
Very good.
and not one of them can pick up a phone.
Well, yeah. I guess you can either watch or you can call me. You don't do both.
You can do both, but if you're listening on the computer, you need to turn the sound down before you call.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, we get these horrible echoes things.
Feedback.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure with people playing music in your house and stuff, you've heard some of that.
Yeah, a little bit.
And it can get annoying real fast.
Yeah.
So what haven't we touched on?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't, when I was growing up, my mom worked and my grandma was up and along in years. So of the 6 of us in my family, the oldest 5 were born less than 10 years of each other. And I came around several years later. But so they had a little different relationship with our grandma.
I've heard you referred to as being spoiled.
Well, that's just their opinion.
Somebody said that you got slipped candy and.
Well, that might have happened. Yeah. I think one time, well, at least one time that my brother Andy was caught, Mom had gotten after me for something and she was walking through the house and she heard Andy talking to me, but he had me sitting on his dresser giving me candy and saying, "Did Mommy get after you?" I'm like, "Yeah, she did." So,
in fact, that's the one I heard was used to doing that.
yeah. So, but no, growing up, I grew up with the nieces and nephews. So the oldest grandchild in the family is 2 years younger than me. And so, people, my friends would say, "You're so lucky you don't have little brothers and sisters." But I had a whole bunch of nieces and nephews.
But, we grew up at different times, but back then I grew up on a family farm.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 2 sisters that were 4 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Twins.
Yeah.
What a pain. But I also had a cousin that was 1 year younger. And it was my grandpa, my dad, and my uncle ran the farm. So I might as well had a brother.
Yeah.
And another sister.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and both of us grew up on the farm, shoveling fun stuff and bucking bales and
Sure. Yeah.
and it was like having a brother because we had disagreements and we had agreements and we could get in trouble together.
Yeah.
So
then nieces and nephews, we grew up together. Me and my nieces and nephews, and same thing. We fought and we played, and years ago, my nephew Dustin and I and his sister Melanie, if we let her tag along for the day, and we would ride out on AA highway, and when she got past Cemetery Road down the ravine, and we play under the bridge.
the ride on a highway.
Well, we
I
probably
grew up-
weren't either. We just never thought, we never asked.
well,
Just ended up in the route.
I don't know how many miles
Yeah.
city. Well, I did. We're going to ride into Archie, and I don't know why, but didn't ask Mom. Dad said, "Sure, go ahead." But they're right so much.
Yeah, it is.
So, and then we had 8 miles back.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
but that blacktop sure beat gravel.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, then we logged mile after mile like that.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the kid now that they had to ride probably a lot of days. We probably rode 8 or 10 miles on gravel.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the kid now that you need to get out on the bike and ride these gravel roads.
Yeah.
Go from here out to and come back.
Mhm.
It's like, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
They- Get me some with a motor on it.
Yeah.
That's what I want now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But kids are different now.
Yeah, they are.
So, and that's our fault.
I think you're right about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every generation wants the next generation to have things
Mm-hmm.
a little better. Our problem is we didn't realize some of those things that weren't better were what made us what we are
Yeah.
and made us tougher.
Well, I've often thought the generation in World War II, you hear stories about things that they did when they were young, young boys, the things they did, daredevil things. I mean, near death experiences. I mean, they were just out running wild. But you know what? I really believe that built that fearlessness up in them, and that when it came their time to serve in World War II,
They were already tougher than what we
they
got.
were, and I know they were, a lot of young boys dropped off, on the beaches of Normandy. I know that. But, I think that made a real difference. I've said several times, it scares me to think if our generation of, kids now were in that situation.
Of course, my granddad was in World War One,
Mm-hmm.
but he's had a brother that loved to tell stories on him.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell Grandpa didn't like that. He would just sit there and get that smile on his face, and his eyes would go like cold flint.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he talked about Grandpa had complained about kids out riding their bikes and four-wheelers
Mm-hmm.
at night and in the woods and all that. And my uncle said, I'd be nothing like horse racing through the woods at night, would it? And then he started the story about them out running horses in the woods
Mm-hmm.
in the dark. And they had one guy in the group that wasn't the most popular guy,
Yeah.
nor was he the brightest. But he ran into a tree limb with his forehead,
Mm-hmm.
knocked him out cold.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought he was dead. And it's like, oh my God, we're not supposed to be out here. We're not supposed to be doing this. What are we going to do? And I said, well, he's dead. We'll just get rid of him. And I guess there was an old well close, and they slung him over his horse. And they were getting ready they had him up and was getting ready to let go of him into the well, and he moaned.
Oh my gosh.
I said, well, what was your plan on that?
Yeah.
We was going to slap his horse and send it home and swear he wasn't with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, that didn't sound like a very good plan.
No.
But they were going to get in trouble because they were riding horses at night.
Yeah.
They were racing in the timber.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And this guy died.
Yeah.
But he didn't. But that was a tough bunch back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And arguments were settled the old way.
Yes.
They didn't go to court.
No.
They settled it.
Swiftly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather gave me a piece of advice that I think is still good. And he said, if a man's handshake can't be trusted, no piece of paper he signs can be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's true.
That is very true.
So
Yeah.
we've been at this over 30 minutes. Nobody wants to call us. Have you got anything you want to say?
I can't think of anything right off the top of my head.
That's because when somebody asks you that question, it just goes.
You just don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
We've got a 4-part series coming up on
Yes, I'm excited for that.
the Constitution. It starts on the 22nd of February,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be 22nd and the 20. Is that right? I've got it right over there.
Okay.
What's this? You still here? The 22nd, March 1st, March 8th, and March 27th. We're taking a couple of weeks off in there because she's got a convention or something to go to. So that should be interesting. I've got her plan for the first one.
Oh, nice.
I hope.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be able to over a year and a half on this software, but I've never had an occasion to do that. So
Well,
we'll see. Record these ahead.
mm-hmm.
And then you can set in chat
Good.
and answer questions.
Yeah.
Anybody has in the chat area.
Mhm.
I may read my book.
I'm up.
I may read another book. Did you see the night
About it. Beyond.
second Jane book? If I did, y'all would be in trouble.
Yeah.
So
So Dolores wants to know if I was on the California trip with Grandma, and she's probably talking about Grandma Enos. I was not. I wasn't born yet. But Mom and Dad took my dad's mother and my 5 siblings from here to California, and my grandma they took her because she was going to be dropped off to visit with a relative. And then Mom and Dad and the other kids went ahead and did their California trip and then picked her up on the way home. But they went all that way, of course, with no air conditioning, all the windows down, and carload of kids,
I'm told that I went all the way out to the redwood forest when I was 3.
Yeah.
So, and loaded up in an old Ford with my mom, my dad, and Mom's 2 brothers.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I guess Mom got mad at him because I was 3.
Uh-huh.
And my sisters, of course, hadn't been born yet.
Mm-hmm.
At any time we stopped, my uncles would not let me go to the bathroom until I counted to 100. And she said, sometimes your need to go was higher than your counting ability.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
those 2 could be ornery.
Yeah, I bet so.
Okay. I think we got about 40 minutes in. We're going to call it good.
Okay.
I appreciate you coming.
Well, thanks for asking. Probably was the most intriguing guest you've ever had on.
You were not the worst.
Well, that makes me...
That was not a very good compliment.
Yeah, I'll take it as a compliment. I'll take it.
It's meant as a compliment. It just didn't come out quite that way.
You're not the worst. So
Don't trust me. You were not the worst. You do not want to have somebody that when you ask them a question, they say, yes,
Yes and no answer.
that's it. Did you do such and such? Are you involved in?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what do you do there? Well, I sit on a committee. What committee? I can't remember right now. We can surely do better than this.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I should have made you a drink first. Guys, we're going to wind it up. And for those of you listening on a 102.7, it'll be going back to the regular music program. Melinda, appreciate you coming.
No, thanks.
I'm really disappointed Mark didn't call in.
Well, I might have told him not to. I don't.
There may have been threats involved. Just remember that, Mark. I wanted you to call. All right, guys. We're going to wind it up. We're going to get out of here. I'm going to play us out with some music, and then we'll be, and switch the radio station back over, and we'll be gone just about 42 seconds.
Mm-hmm.